Boom. All right, welcome back to Bat Force Radio, the DC Batman podcast with no limits. We're doing an extra special late in the evening reaction / breakdown of the all-new Zack Snyder Justice League trailer that just dropped on Valentine's Day. I believe it's pronounced St. Valentine's Day. And then I didn't realize until I went on Twitter and started following all the, the toxic Snyder cultists. But they were saying how it was all planned 214, the date 214, the runtime of the trailer is 214, and how his original cut was 214 minutes. So apparently it was all kind of destined to be that way from the beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the roundtable first. We got Robin over in Canada.
Yo.
We got Grumps in New York.
Yo.
We got the Gopher Killer Legends in California.
Feels great to be back.
I'm Bat Force Tom, also in California. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch the trailer. We're not going to put it on the video because I don't really know what YouTube's going to do if we try to put that on there. So we're just going to watch it right now. So you guys go watch it right now, whoever's listening. Then afterwards, we're going to come back. We're going to go through the screenshots, and then we'll talk about it. So go and cut. Oh, by the way, it's very late tonight. So just in case you guys want to stay up late, make sure you go to bonescoffee.com, offer code BATFORCE15. Get juiced up on some coffee like some of the members of the Bat Force didn't do. And that's why they're not here right now, because they're asleep. But if you get yourself some coffee, use that code. They have some awesome flavors. We're sponsored now, so we don't have to do this, but it's delicious coffee, so we're going to do it. But anyways, all right, hop off and watch the trailer, and then we'll catch you guys on the flip. Here we go.
We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?
Jesus.
It's still so crazy that this movie is even happening.
Yeah.
For how long did so many people say it's not going to happen? It's never going to happen.
I'm surprised at how fast
I
it's happening.
Yeah. I want to just praise us and give all praise just to us and the Bat Force for getting Subway involved all those months ago, getting a corporate sponsor underway by just posting a stupid meme and then getting that was insane. But overall, like, I think was it last November when it was the anniversary of something. I can't remember. And all the fucking Snyder kids are going to get so mad. But I think it was November of last year or 2 years ago, rather, when Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, all of them got involved on Twitter and started retweeting release the Snyder Cut. And that's what, in that interview that I think Variety did with Snyder, and he talked about how that was the moment where Warner Brothers, the new regime at Warner Brothers, was like, all right, what the fuck? Fans were able to get fucking the stars of the movie to come back and put support under it. So,
and then we had planes flying over sporting events with signs about the Snyder Cut, signs in Times Square, and just craziness.
Yeah, and there was a whole community basically born out of just people following him on I almost said fucking Parler, dude.
Wrong.
On Vero. Yeah, and I mean, nobody else would be on Vero if it wasn't for Zack Snyder, honestly. But he got a grassroots movement of fans going there, and then they just came over to Twitter, and then they were just loud. Some would say a very small percentage were toxic. They were, but overall, there's just resounding positive. They raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for suicide awareness. So they sold merch to benefit the proceeds to that. Then he did that thing. Well, he did the event 2 years ago when he did the directors. He was raising money for his old art school that he went to, the film school that he went to in Pasadena, and Legends and I were able to go to that. And while he was there, there was a ton of people who were really vocal in the Release the Snyder Cut movement there personally, physically, and that just kind of it kind of kept the wave going. But yeah, man, it's just it's just crazy to think like we used to joke about like, man, what if they would actually do it? And then at some point it turned into a reality. So two things. I think number one is it's insane that it's happening. Number two, a lot of people are confused on what this movie actually is. So for those of you who are like really casual and just jump in and don't really know what's going on, essentially he filmed most of everything that he storyboarded. A lot of it needed VFX and some other additional things done to it, but he was able to give a certain rough cut of what he filmed to the studio. They watched that. Tragically, his daughter committed suicide, and in the wake of that, he decided to take some time off because he was also getting pressure from the studio too. They were already getting their hands in his business, and they were trying to put pressure on him to change things. And in that Variety article, he talks about how he was just done with it, like the tragedy of his family. He couldn't handle it. He just needed to be with his family, so he took some time off. And that's where the story gets really crazy. In that it sounds like, Jeff Johns apparently took it upon himself to figure out what they're going to do. I don't know if the conversation was that he wasn't sure if Snyder was ever going to come back, or if it was mainly motivation to just change the whole thing because he didn't like the direction that it was going. But Snyder had this specific idea for future films that Justice League was going to set up. So Jeff Johns then took that, basically cut out everything that would make it a setup film for sequels, and decided to repackage it as a fan-friendly, box office-friendly Justice League with Joss Whedon coming on. That's what they did. And that's what Justice League was. Well, a lot of people realize that's not Zack Snyder. Like, that's nowhere near to where, it was supposed to be. So that's why this movie got started. That's why we're here today. But anyways, let's break this shit down, dude. Let me bring up some pictures. First thing at the beginning, we got this bad boy over here. So this is just after he gets murked by Doomsday, and in this kind of cut, you could see, not so much here in this, but in the trailer, you see like rings of sound coming off of his scream as he's dying, which is supposedly, you hear Luthor in the background saying that's the bell that he explained at some point. That's how Darkseid, that's how Steppenwolf hears and realizes that he's there out there in the galaxy, and it kind of brings them to Earth. And then there's an example of that echo kind of going out through the universe and through the city there. And then that kind of leads into the fucking sick ass images of the nightmare sequences. And I think a lot of this stuff is some of the reshoots, right? You guys think?
Yeah, I think so, because I can kind of tell a difference in Ben Affleck's voice. I don't know if any of you guys noticed it.
Oh, I didn't even. What do you mean? I didn't even think of that.
I don't know. It feels a little bit lighter in this trailer versus like BVS or Justice League.
You mean like there's not as heavy of a voice changer on it?
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even think to even like pick that out.
So I thought for sure this was part of the reshoot.
And now we've got also Cyborg present in the nightmare sequence,
right, in the background.
Obviously, Joker that we see at the end. And
they must have got my request for more Cyborg.
Get is Deathstroke being there.
They got your request for more Cyborg.
And one cool thing. Now, this is just a rumor, but the rumor that I've heard about the nightmare sequence is that may be complete bullshit, but the thing that I've been hearing is that Batman, Deathstroke, and Cyborg were searching for Joker.
That could be true. Yeah, I mean, you see kind of Cyborg in the background of the nightmare sequence, so you kind of figure out. And then obviously, how the fuck did they get there? You think it's probably Flash that helped them out at some point. What's next up? So yeah, and then kind of brings us to a little bit of foreshadowing with Darkseid and Steppenwolf, and I'm sorry, not Steppenwolf, Deathstroke, and fucking Granny motherfucking goodness. And I don't think, did we get any hint before, like these teases over this last weekend, that she was in this movie?
Nope.
Yeah, so that was fucking crazy. Obviously, Ava DuVernay and Tom King are working on they're working on their the New Gods. They're doing the New Gods. And I don't think they've talked about if they're going to have Granny Goodness in it, but people are wanting that. But guys, who that looks like? Is it what's her name? Judi Dench? It might not be, but it kind of looks like her. But yeah, if you Google Judi Dench, really famous British actress, she was Moneypenny in a lot of the Bond films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's like fucking big pedigree, like Oscar contending actress. So if they have,
it does kind of look like her.
If they have her just doing a fucking like small little role, that'd be dope. But who knows who that is? But anyways, that's fucking Granny Goodness, right? I mean, we can all agree.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we see a little bit of this is some additional footage, either that he filmed already or I don't think that he did additional. I think this was just straight cut out from the Justice League, where this is where Steppenwolf is fighting the out.
Is that what we're calling it now? The Justice League?
Yeah, that's what people call it. Yeah.
Oh, it's been called that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I forgot to add in. There's a nice clear picture of Steppenwolf that I forgot to add in here, but you could tell that this is where he's murking all the Amazons. And by the way, I really appreciate Zack. He got attacked at some point online for being sexist and not, being sexist about, I don't know, the fucking costumes or whatever. And I love that a lot of the women who were like CrossFit athletes who were filming for this movie as the Amazons, they actually were like, fuck off. Like, this is female empowerment because we're buff as fuck and we're fucking shit up. And I do appreciate that, but I also appreciate the fact that it's woman equality because Steppenwolf is fucking destroying them in that scene where he's just like hacking them up. So it's like no mercy, dude. Like they're Amazons, so you got to bring your fucking A game.
This version of that scene, what the little bit that we see in the trailer, he is so much more brutal.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about? Sorry to interrupt. What do you guys think about the appearance of Darkseid? How he looks?
You mean like just in general?
In the trailer, you like the way how he's depicted?
Yeah, I heard someone complain that they don't like that he's got the Omega symbol on his chest. Like, he wouldn't do that, and then like someone compared it to the comics, and it's like, he absolutely would.
You know what kind of vibe I got when I first saw him? Because the emblem kind of looked like a big necklace, so he kind of gave me the Mr. T vibes.
Oh God! Read a comic. Trunkler's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit!
I can't really hear him though, so maybe he's there. Who knows? So yeah, there's the big bad boy himself, Darkseid. What's next on this bad boy? Let's see here. I think they showed us a good amount of. Then it's kind of like a collage of like, oh yeah, here I need heroes. I'm building a team, and then this is new. That's definitely.
Hold on. Who is? I wonder does the Darkseid have a speaking part? Like is somebody doing his voice? Or?
Yeah, he does. And I forget the actor's name, but that was another thing that like a lot of people figured out who his voice was, and I think his name is also Ray, and he's actually been pretty vocal on Twitter, saying thank you to all the fans who have like constantly tagged him and stuff, and because his voice, it's either Steppenwolf or Darkseid in one of the voiceovers for the original like teaser that when Snyder was still on it, he put out a teaser that had a completely different voiceover under it. And I think that was either Darkseid or like Steppenwolf. I don't know if they redid the vocals for Steppenwolf, but it sounded completely different. Where he's like, I think it might be Steppenwolf. He's like, he says, "My lord, this world will fall. There's no Kryptonians, no lanterns here."
Yeah.
And so that was completely cut out. And I think that was, some different voiceover work that they were doing. But let's go back to this real quick. Sure. So this is new, and this is you see a burned out car in the back, and you see like a desert wasteland. So this is definitely
nightmare sequence.
Nightmare sequence where he's like, he's got like a fucking cannon over he's got 4 arms. This is a really bad screenshot, but he's got 4 arms in this part. And then I was talking a little bit offline about how if you go to our Instagram page and you look at one of our posts that we did that's like I think it's an IGTV post, but Legends filmed Zack Snyder talking for about 12 minutes.
I still have him.
Yeah, about the whole plot to Justice League that he would have completed if they had let him, and he explains all of this so that.
So did Ray Fisher come back for the reshoot? So because the stuff with Joker and Affleck is new, right? Or Batfleck, sorry.
I think everybody in that like last end sequence with Joker is reshoots. So Ray Fisher, Affleck, him, Deathstroke, probably like Robin was saying, if it turns out to be. So I'm assuming all that stuff is, I bet you there's like a whole fucking hour near the end that he just like decided like fuck it, like if it's not gonna give me the second one, at least let me give this little, this little thing at the end. So why not?
What about Jesse Eisenberg? Is he in this?
I think he said he did film some stuff. So I don't know if they're gonna. Yeah, I mean he was in the first one. So if that was stuff that Snyder shot, that it'll be in there.
That end scene that we got on the Joss Whedon version, wasn't that originally supposed to have been something that was during the movie?
No, I
because that was stuff that Zack had originally storyboarded.
That's right, because you see that he has that on his little iPad, right? Yeah, so we might see that too. We might see like a whole scene. Well, you said that it was
in that picture with
it was Deathstroke breaking Luther out of jail, like in the middle of the movie. So that might be what it is. Let's see here, and then Iris. So I think if you guys remember, Snyder shared this sequence where it was none of this was completed. This was all stuff that didn't have any VFX originally, and so obviously he took that. So this is an example of like. Snyder cut footage that was at some point shown. Then he went back and he was able to add all the VFX onto it. So good example of that. This is new too, where he says, where Alfred's saying that thing about like the charging, don't approach the charging bull if you're gonna throw the red cape in front of him. So obviously Steppenwolf's got that design going. It looks badass. We haven't talked about this. I don't know. There was a ton of Cyborg stuff that was completely cut out. And at some point, what's his name?
He gets a lot more character development,
right?
It's almost like he was telling the truth,
right? And I think at some point Snyder said that Cyborg is the heart of this movie, like he's almost the one that. And I think if you look at the sequence at the end with Joker, it's pretty much like Cyborg's in every major like sequence of it. He's in the nightmare stuff. He's in the regular stuff. He's in flashbacks. So, and I think you kind of got a little bit of a hint of that in Justice League, but there's probably like 40 minutes of straight Ray Fisher Cyborg that's in there. Let's go over this bad boy real quick. I mean, what did you guys think when you saw this shit?
That's when I was on board.
That's what everyone talked about.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's when I couldn't downplay it any further.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this is nightmare sequence? Look at the background.
I don't care what it is as long as we get a bat tank.
She's got the cape and everything.
I don't think it's nightmare sequence. I think this is like at the end battle.
Yeah, he's in like a regular bat suit and like it doesn't look like the nightmare thing. Like I feel like that's maybe during the invasion.
At the end. Okay. Let's see what else we got. This is my favorite image of the whole thing, but I also love this one very much.
Yeah.
Just black suit, just fucking red eyes. Oh, actually, this one's sick. This one's also sick, where it's like he does a first flight, right?
Yeah.
That looks very sick and dope. I think. I'm forgetting the best shit. So then near the end, over here, we got this motherfucker over here. That's super sick. And then this is what fucking threw me for a loop, because this confirms that Cyborg's in that nightmare sequence.
So how does I wonder? I don't. Nightmare Batman died in BTS.
I mean, yeah. Yes.
We don't see it, right?
Well, I mean, he alludes to that he dies for sure, but yeah. So I think this is like, I mean, I don't know, but he did.
Be another timeline or another.
Well, again, if you want it spoiled, it's definitely spoiled for you. Like, I don't know if we should go full spoilers on here, just because I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody. But
I'm just
if it's the answers are out there if you really want to look for it and dig. You know, so the whole plot of this movie, at least before he finished it all, he talked it out, and it's out there. So if you really want to go look to see, you know, potentially how this movie plays out, like almost probably 90% of it, he has given in much detail in the past. So, but this stuff, I mean,
my videos firsthand.
Yeah, this stuff he is completely new. Like the fact that he's putting Joker in this shit at the end. Is fucking, I cannot believe that he did. I mean, I guess I can believe it because they're not giving him any leash anymore. They're just letting him do whatever he wants. But I mean, like he's literally given an opportunity for this guy to redeem himself as Joker. Like it's just
I him in Suicide Squad.
I didn't hate him. I thought that he got robbed because you could tell that he was not allowed to kind of, you know, chew up the scenery as much as people say that he maybe did it too much. But to be honest, like I think that there was a lot of stupid shit that is cut out from that version of it.
Well, that's the next. That's the next thing, isn't it? Release the Ayer cut.
And he's done interviews where he's explained what he says was, it seemed uncool to me that we would make it all the way through this incarnation of Batman and Joker without seeing them together. So he mentioned that he had plans for including Joker, but that I think that was back when he thought he was going to do 2 of these movies, you know, have it be 2 parts. But when obviously another Justice League movie at this point seems unlikely, but since he had this opportunity that he got to do his own version, whatever he wanted with this extended version of the movie, decided to give us that first time Ben Affleck and Jared Leto scene together.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like he's like trying to just, you know, fucking shoot for the moon because he doesn't know what's going to happen next. I know you said it was an opportunity. Would you call it a swap-opportunity?
Yes, we'll go with that. You can quote me.
Swap-opportunity. Okay. Again, we don't want to spoil the whole fucking movie, but if you really want to and you can't wait, go to the Instagram page, the Bat Force, and again, I think it's on IGTV. A couple years ago, there's a video where it looks like we're in the audience that Legends uploaded. It's about 12 minutes, and it's literally the whole fucking plot to this movie. Actually, technically, JL1 and JL2 of whatever, you know, he was going to plan on doing in 2 movies. So, do you guys think that? I mean, okay. How much do you think he actually filmed as far as like time wise? Like, do you think it's up to an hour of additional footage? Do you think it's like that nightmare sequence looks pretty extensive because you got Cyborg in the nightmare now, you got Joker in the nightmare. Robin, if you think from the sources that you're talking about, I can't remember if it was you that said that there's three outfits the Joker's going to wear. He's going to wear the outfit that we saw in the pictures that he leaked. And then he's obviously wearing the bulletproof police vest. There's one more outfit that he's going to wear because, you know, I was reading this thing. It's like, oh, he's going to wear the medical suit that he has in the cell. And then he's going to be wearing a police vest, bulletproof vest. And I remember reading, I'm like, why the fuck is he going to be wearing a police vest? That sounds stupid. Yeah. And then it's in the fucking trailer. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So that person was legit.
Yeah. And is that the first thing I thought of when I noticed it said SWAT on his back? I thought of the end of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So is that the same vest from that? I haven't looked at pictures of it or anything yet. But
definitely a nod to it. If it's not. But,
and that like apron or dress or whatever he's wearing really reminds me of the Tony Daniel, Grant Morrison stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's got the bullet hole in the forehead and has that thing on.
Someone described it as a medical gown. And then I don't know if you guys saw online. I should have put it up, but I forgot. Somebody put on Twitter, they colorized the picture of him sitting in the cell. I don't even know if it's a cell. It just looks like a cell. It looks like the nightmare bunker that Batman's in. And they colorized it, so it gives a little more detail. He's actually wearing gloves, I think. He's wearing gloves. He's got like the gown on, and then he's got like pants on. So, and obviously the colors that you're using are probably not the same colors that are in the movie, but it's just someone that kind of went with it. But
I don't know if you caught it earlier, but I was saying how Jared Leto is the first actor to play the Joker in 2 movies.
Oh no shit!
That's really interesting.
So he's the best Joker of all time, is what you're saying.
Oh, you just pissed off.
Quote me on that.
What else? I love the fact that I was talking to our buddy Falco Kick, who is very deep in the internet interwebs, specifically where all the degenerates hang out and all the subreddits. And he was
I
saying,
was gonna say Reddit.
he was saying how he's also on Twitch and he's on Discords and shit.
Jesus.
But he goes, I mean, he's in the armpit of the internet. But
Yeah.
he was talking about how in one of the subreddits, like, you know, these incels and these, you know, red pill, blue pill people, like they hate Snyder. You know, he's a Chad, he's a jock with, you know, he's basically like, if you gave a Chad, you know, $200 million to make a Batman movie, this is what he would make. And it's kind of true. But he was saying how that whole percentage of haters just completely flipped and now fucking love him because of what he did with the line of "We live in a society."
Yeah.
Because just to
the Seinfeld quote.
Yeah, real quick
We live
background.
in a society, you know.
Real quick background on the Joker thing. So at some point after the Dark Knight trilogy, all these incels and like these people started using a quote that is not attributed to Joker at all. Almost said Jared Leto. What's the other dude that got the award? Not the
Heath
Joaquin
Ledger.
Phoenix. I forget his name all the time now. Who remembers that guy? But he never said we live in a society. But at some point, some incel like made a meme saying that we live in a society and used that Joker image to kind of show that, like, you know, society has kind of left the incels and left these guys behind, but they see the world for what it is and they know how it really works and how dirty and disgusting and ugly everything is. And so it was kind of done in jest, and that meme just circulated over and over again. And it was kind of like this calling card to all these like degenerates. And then Snyder has now fucking taken it back and repurposed that meme in a fucking movie on film where the Joker is now saying that on film. And so like these people on the internet are like, oh my God, no, he didn't. So it's just
Chess,
like
not checkers.
it's just like it's just fucking phenomenal, the things that he's been able to pull off. And he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. And then Robin was like, did he ever? I'm like, I don't think he did.
Yeah.
That's probably why they boot him off.
Yeah, the shit he was doing was always too crazy. Even going back to BVS, how many? To be honest, the average
Legends.
person who is seeing one of these movies in the theater, yeah, Legends, we can hear you flipping those pages on your mic. The average person who is seeing one of these movies in the theater is a casual fan. Like they haven't read comics for years. You know, they're not the Wednesday Warriors or now Tuesday Warriors. We've come up with a better name now that DC books are out Tuesdays. But they aren't these people who have been reading comics every week for years and years. So the average person didn't know what the hell they were seeing when Flash is talking to Batman in the Batcave, and you saw how many people were saying, "Oh, I think that was Red Hood," and so people hadn't read Crisis on Infinite Earths and didn't know what was happening in that scene. So that's an example of Zack never gave a fuck what the casual people, what the casual viewers knew about and what they were going to understand. He just went crazy and did all the cool shit that he always wanted to see in the movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, the studio included, didn't understand that what he was doing was he was making, you know, he didn't want to touch any of the stuff that came before because, like, you know, number one, some of it had just happened, so you don't want to kind of go that direction. But what he really wanted to do was kind of create this like Elseworlds big budget movie, you know, universe that was happening alongside of everything. And I don't think casual fans or the fucking casual studio heads knew what the fuck he was doing. And they didn't understand his vision and they didn't like his vision. And so that's why, you know, they basically turned on him. But that's kind of like, you know, so many people are so mad that this is happening. So many people are so angry that this is a reality. And the thing is like, this doesn't take anything away from you. Literally, the way you can look at it is, it's like look at an event comic book. You know, look at like any event that is like a 6-issue miniseries event that has other tie-ins to it. Like, You know, it's it might change some things, but if it sucks, they're not going to use any of the stuff and keep it canon. They're going to retcon it, or they're going to keep some of the stuff that's awesome as canon. But overall, it exists on its own, and it might be used in a way to jumpstart other things. But especially if it's like a fucking Elseworlds book, things are going to come back to normal at some point, so you don't have to worry about it. Especially if they're making the Batman in that universe by itself, then they got the Joker in that universe apparently by itself. Like, you got that, and if you don't like that, stay home and watch the Dark Knight trilogy. That's what you can. You're perfectly fine doing that. There's no reason to hate, even if you think it's stupid, even if you think it's dumb. The thing is like, it doesn't matter, because this is not taking anything away from things that are already in progress towards the other direction of like the Batman. So it's just funny to see all these haters saying like how stupid it is. Like, yeah, who gives a fuck if you think it's, people think fucking death metal's stupid. I still fucking listen to it. I don't give a shit what you think. Like, people think Scott's Tots is terrible. I love watching it. People think the Dinner Party episode is horrible. I love watching it.
So good.
How can you skip Dinner Party, by the way, of The Office? Anyways.
And everyone should also watch like the bloopers from Dinner Party.
My God.
Oh yeah.
That's some of the best bloopers. The part where Michael pushes the TV back into the wall. Explains how if you have a lot of people over, you need more room, and it moves back an inch. They could not get through that part. It's so fucking good.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we were in here to talk. The Office recording is tomorrow night.
What are you guys excited to see the most out of this movie, Grumps?
Batman and Joker.
Wow.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll be a negative Nancy. Like, I just kind of want to
get over it.
Move on from this whole situation. To be honest,
not happening.
Like, that's
bro.
Get
ready for spin-off. HBO Max presents the Snyderverse, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, by moving on, I mean, we could move on and keep going, or move on and just like this Justice League thing. I
got it.
Kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
And move on from it, good or bad, either way, whatever direction.
I hear you. And how dare you for minimizing Ray Fisher's experience? But that's on you. Anyways, moving on. Legends, what are you most excited to see about this, aside from the toys?
I'd say I'm most excited just to see Snyder's version. But what I don't want to happen is we get our beaks wet with Darkseid, and then we don't get a sequel to get like the full movie with Darkseid.
Yeah, that is a good point, because I think it was made very clear that Darkseid is not.
Was going to be in part 2, right?
Yeah, he's not the big baddie in this one. He's just kind of shown along the way, and then he's the big baddie in the next one. So yeah, good point.
But then the sequel's probably not going to happen, because then you got to get Batfleck on board, and that's probably not going to happen.
Dude, no one thought this was going to happen, so you can't say that anymore. Like, that, you just can't say that anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this movie is historic in that they've never given a big Hollywood box office budget production back to its original director. They gave him $71 million more to finish it. That's never been done before. They're doing it as an exclusive streaming service. That's never been. This is fucking history. So this is going beyond the bounds of that's never going to happen. It's literally creating things that were, you know what I mean? It's like an expanding universe. It's just not stopping. Anyways, I would say that my most excited moments are going to be the nightmare sequences. I want to see the nightmare sequences exclusively more than anything. Robin, who do you want to see the most?
I've got a couple things. One is the Bat Tank, just to see that in use. The scale of it is so massive in this version. Like, Batman looks like an ant standing on top of it. I want to see that nightmare stuff. I want to see how Deathstroke is in this.
Deathstroke.
What this situation is with them and Joker in the nightmare world. And definitely I want to see Granny Goodness.
Oh, yeah, true.
What exactly we get of her in it. And really, I want to see the end game of all this, because what does Warner Brothers do? You had this 2-3 years of a shocking number of people campaigning for this to happen. And then it finally happens to almost everyone's surprise. It actually happens. So what does Warner Brothers do after all that support for it? It gets made, let's argue that it makes a shit ton of money by people subscribing to HBO and going out to the theaters for the theatrical version that comes out.
And even the
then
Blu-ray.
let's also, yep. And then let's also argue, let's just say it's possible that it gets a positive critical reception. What does Warner Brothers do then? Okay, this version that we should have put out in the beginning was financially successful and critically successful. Do we not get this guy to make more movies?
We need Superman 2.
It's a completely
For sure.
different. It's a completely different group of people that are heading the studio
Yeah.
now than
Yeah.
before. So
Yep.
they're all much more open, I'm sure, to new stuff with him.
And,
you know, 'cause-
and that's part of why it's interesting. I think the old guard that was running things at the time were going to be dead set against having him do anything else, no matter what. But I think the people that are there now are much more open to just look at where the money is. And if this makes money and people actually like it, you know, aside from crazy people like us, what do they do? Do they really say no, we're not going to have this guy bring in any more money for us?
it'd be dumb. It would just be leaving money on the table. Trunkler, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What are you looking forward to most out of this movie?
I mean, everyone's got good points. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, everything from as small as the way Steppenwolf looks to Darkseid, granting goodness. I really want to see like what Trump was saying about the interaction between Affleck and Leto as you know, Batman and Joker. The only thing I can say is the whole thing, to be honest with you. I mean, I want to see what Snyder's vision was. And hopefully...
Yeah, I want to see comparisons versus how much was like really cut out and how much was reshot under Whedon. I really am interested to see if this is like a complete. I mean, it is, man. 4 hours. It's going to be totally different.
Yeah, and
So-
didn't Zack say he's that this version doesn't use any of what Joss shot, right? It's
Yeah.
all his.
So none of the jokes, none of Batflick smiling or laughing. Probably none of the weird running from the Flash.
Yeah.
And every shot looks better too. Like the cinematography is all just you can watch a scene from one and a scene from the other, and you can tell whose is whose.
And let's not forget the butchered video of Cavill with the grainy smiling
Oh
Oh
my God.
man.
The
mustache
rubber mouth.
situation. Oh my god.
Awful.
They should have just done face swap or face app, but you know, I completely forgot. Nobody.
Like that video of that lawyer with the cat face is more convincing than that Henry Cavill mustache editing was. You could have had just Henry Cavill with a cat face on saying,
Dude,
it's not an S.
Joe Schmo on Reddit.
It's not
could
an
have
S and I'm not a
any
cat.
job.
Absolutely.
I'm here live, Judge.
It's not an S, Judge, and I'm not a cat.
So who are we getting? Like, what characters are being added to this? Or you know,
I think Nightmare Sequence, Cyborg, Nightmare Sequence, Deathstroke, because Joe Manganiello showed up rocking the mohawk,
yeah,
and that was recently, and
it was white, right?
right,
yes,
it was a recent mohawk, and then 2-3 weeks later, that picture comes out that Snyder tweets of him as Deathstroke with a mohawk. So that's new. Joker's new. I
Side
think
is new.
Is Martian Manhunter gonna?
that's apparently supposed to be in there too. Yeah, Martian Manhunter is supposed to be additional footage.
I believe there are 2 or 3 extra Marthas in this one.
Oh, good.
Bring it.
Need more of those. I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet. the fact that they are fucking putting Junkie XL's soundtrack back on it
Yeah.
is going to be massive because just these trailers alone, just the trailers where
The
he,
music.
oh my god, fucking like, dude, I've just been watching. I'll even put it off to the side and not even watch it. I'll just listen to it, and the fucking music, the stakes are so high, and you know he cuts all these trailers music specifically for the trailers, and then that's something that like I think is just going to elevate that stuff just to a different level. Is you're giving the music back to you know, Junkie XL, and he's really kind of, you know, feeling, you know, he's filling the space for Snyder's visuals, and that's gonna look sick. So I'm looking forward to the soundtrack. Actually, I hope they release another soundtrack, a new soundtrack with the Junkie XL stuff. So, 4 fucking hours. Wait, Robin, are you gonna be able to watch this?
Yeah, it's gonna be on other servers. Well, like, HBO Max. I don't know if this is a lack of foresight or something, lack of planning, but HBO Max is only available in the US, not anywhere else. So
I didn't know that.
the rest of us, everywhere else in the world, get it on different services.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I was seeing a bunch of people commenting, saying that they're pissed that like they're in the UK, they're in Australia, they're in, you know, Argentina, and number one, it's really cool to see everyone from international areas commenting on our page. But number two, it was like, oh fuck, that sucks. I was like, well, I'll tell you how it goes, but
USA.
And but really, you know, if anyone doesn't have access to it, the day it comes out, you know, you can get it on, I'm sure, places that rhyme with Schmiret Bay.
yeah. 4 hours, man. I'm gonna set myself up. I'm probably gonna get a new TV before then.
It's
Set
crazy
myself
because
up.
it's on Lolo's birthday. What are you gonna do?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck whose birthday it's on. I already told her. I was like, I'm gonna need you out of the house. I'm gonna need you out. I don't know where you're gonna go, but you're gonna be gone for 4 hours, all right? If you're not gonna sit down and be quiet and watch this with me, I don't want to see you. So, that's been settled. And
I'll bring her a gift. We'll watch it together.
yeah, I don't know. There's I can get her some fucking gift cards to like Lululemon or some shit, and she'll
Your
just get it.
boyfriend.
Yeah, I'll send her to her boyfriend's house. Yeah, that's good enough. But any last thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
I can't believe this is happening.
I know.
Yeah,
dude. I it's fucking amazing. Like I can't. It's
we
it's
get
historic.
Superman in the black suit.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah. It's pretty historic. So, all right. It's a month away. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Enjoy the Snyder Cut trailers that are already out there. Check us out on Instagram at The Bad Force. Check us out on YouTube at The Bad Force. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Check out Grumps and Gramps, the exclusive YouTube show. We got Dunk's show, Everything Batman as well, if you're into that. And yeah, all right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bad Force
Later.
over and out.